Hello Redditors of the internet, Noble Xenon here and welcome back to another Reddit video, and today we'll be looking at r/JustNeckbeardThings part 14. Let's get started. Gonna start things off a little funny actually. Take a shower? Oh, you mean get peed on by my own house? No thanks, that's gay. Gamers be like, maybe this is why neckbeards refuse to take a shower. Must be that neckbeard logic. Moving on. On my 10th birthday, my grandma gave me a Bible. On my 20th birthday, I gave it back to her in 2 pieces. Took me 10 years to cut it in half with this piece of crap sword. Out of all people, why you gonna do that to your poor grandma? That's disrespectful, man. This next one is titled Christ in a Uber. Hey Julie, this is your Uber driver from tonight, Jeffrey. I just realized I forgot to give you a promo code. Use the code CUTIE for a free ride, but only valid if you use it on the way to dinner with me. And as you can see, he's a straight up neckbeard. This next one is titled, It Still Shocks Me That Men Like This Exist. Humans of New York said I was like an incel kid. I'd never had a girlfriend. I only had done it with prostitutes. I was very suicidal. Then one day I was standing next to a cute girl at a bus stop and I googled how to approach women. That's when I came across a forum for pickup artists. It's exactly what I'd been looking for. It seemed like a cure for my autism. I watched all the videos I could find. I started working out at a gym. I'd spend all day approaching women. Soon I was only hanging out with other pickup artists. They respected me. They wanted to learn from me. Finally, there was something I was good at. Right now I have over 1,000 numbers on my phone. It's a bit like gambling. Sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't. But you always have the chance to do it. There are so many tricks to learn. Women have emotional brains. They get addicted to feelings. You can use that to your advantage. The first time you meet her, tell her she looks amazing. But never give her a full compliment again. She'll always chase that validation. It's like a drug. Tell her she looks beautiful for her age. Tell her she looks good in his lighting. Keep her insecure with half compliments. Keep her feeling like there's something wrong with her. Like she's not good enough for you. Like she needs it for validation. Of course it's manipulation, but why should I care? I've been manipulated so many times in my life. Amsterdam, the Netherlands. Damn it, I was really hoping that this would be a recovered incel, but it wasn't. Instead, they just decided to act on their neckbeardy way and think women are objects to be conquered or something. This next one is a neckbeard on Discord. Yeah, thanks, and also, why'd you tell him everything about me? He asked. Someone already told him, and he just wanted to know the details to understand it since she told him. Others were my general concerns for you. Yeah, but please don't tell people that crap about pedo crap like I am one, because it's basically X-bashing. Not my fault I found that on your PC and you openly discuss with me. Some you claim is jokingly, while other times you were serious about how your own daughter could bring it up if she looked right, despite them being your daughter. That is concerning as hell. If copyright wasn't a thing, Sweet Home Alabama would be playing in the background right now. Yeah, but that's some crap every guy's afraid of, and you know how I deal with stuff like that. Not every guy deals with that, dude. Don't try to normalize it. And as you can see, he looks like a neckbeard. And how in the hell did he even get a daughter in the first place? Someone needs to call the police ASAP. Moving on. This next one is in reply to the problem of guys being socially awkward is real, and he is absolutely right on this. Actually, all he mentions here is absolutely accurate. Before you blow off what I'm saying is mindless babble, listen. I'm not an idiot, but on the contrary, I am educated. I have a PhD in chemistry and a PhD in mathematical modeling, but yet I too have social awkwardness and have experienced exactly what he is talking about. My life is concrete evidence to what he is saying, socially at least. Thank you. And the neckbeard's reply? I'm one of the men Zimbardo is describing. I'm 28. For over 20 years, public education was boring me to death. I spend most of the time in front of computer and internet. I don't play games though. I watch science videos instead. I watch lewd content very often, and yes, I'm completely lost when it comes to social contact, but Zimbardo is talking correlation and not causation, which might actually be the only good point the neckbeard has. I find today's society boring and mindless, and this is why I do not see contact with it. I prefer male contact to female contact in terms of company, not sexual preferences, because males tend to be more reasonable. I was with a few girls, but I often get the feeling that today's girls just don't have a clue how the world really works, says the neckbeard. Even though women are intelligent, many of them more than me, I'd say it's the men who think. They are able to analyze problems in non-standard ways and are brutally honest. It's just more useful to be around men than women, sorry. our society becomes unbearably feminized and sheep-like. I feel like society is one big mindless beehive, and since I like to think myself, I just do not want to be a part of this inert hive. It is a historic fact that if you want to know how the world will innovate, you should always look to what boys and men are doing. For millenniums, it's millennia actually, by the way, it was males, not females, who shaped the future, and this is exactly what is going on right now. It's true that today women are more independent, more aggressive, they want to learn and work, and I think it is fantastic. More power to them, because this gives men more free time to develop their own hobbies. Zimbardo should not encourage people to fix it. There is nothing that needs to be fixed here. Men are simply doing things in their own way. We are trying to adapt to a world that is being dominated by women, and it's just not that interesting from a man's perspective. In my humble opinion, this world is just too archaic for modern men, so don't blame us that we are evolving to be ready for the future and not the present. Apparently this guy thinks modern men have ascended to become gods above this stupid earth, yet the earth doesn't want their godliness. It only wants women who are somehow lesser than them, at least according to Neckbeard logic. Moving on. This next one's title, I post pics of myself on my other account. I've gotten some weird messages, but this one takes the cake. Wow, you have such a breathtaking body. Your skin looks so soft. I would taste every single inch of you and savor your moans and tickle every sensitive, throbbing inch of your beautiful body. Can we talk? Please, I'm very, very good with my tongue and fingers, and I'd love to tell you all about it. Yeah, this isn't a creepy introduction at all. Only talking about unnervingly inappropriate things, right? This next one's simply titled, Seems Legit. Modest Pelican tweets, female streamer, hey, thank you for the donation. Male viewer, heart rate picks up, no problem, can you please follow me on Twitter? Yeah, I guess. Proceeds to send a dong pic. Oh my god, I love you, travels to his location and does it with him. GG easy. If only it was as simple as that. Unfortunately, Neckbeards would probably think this is real. This next one is on Facebook. Since it is June 11th, it's confession game on Facebook. I dare everyone to make at least one true hardcore confession. Since I wrote this status first, I will go first. Okay, so my confession is, the girls I have fapped to over the past week on my Facebook friend list are as follows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 different girls. Lol, yeah, so hopefully you are all not too annoyed, but it's the rules, so your turns. You're a frickin' weirdo, the hell is this? What the hell, with a lot of laughing emojis? Delete this, oh my god. This isn't funny, it's just disturbing with an nauseated face. Dead as hell. Creep. You like been hacked or something? Nope, just being honest for once and trying to be open with people. Wow. Dude, I've heard of neckbeards having zero social awareness, but this is just next level. Like, how does it even occur to you in your damn brain to say something like this? Let's move on before it's too late. This next one's title, looks make up for women not being funny. So someone comments, I don't agree with tearing down the message from the post, but the standards aren't the same. Flick through recent movies and TV shows. How many men do you see that don't fit the ideal body standards for men? Then check how many women don't fit the standards for women. A dude can be ugly, balding, or fat, and he could still be respected for personality. If you're a woman that isn't up to snuff, not that it's at all impossible, then it's not as easily accounted for. I've noticed that guys in general tend to be wittier, funnier, self-confident, and more energetic. That more than makes up for the appeal gap in their looks, so yeah, it's not an unfair point to say looks are a big part of women's edge if they lack these things, but it still is really just a victim mentality, which women are unfortunately more prone to. Whining about beauty standards and claiming that you can't succeed because of them are blatant and obvious lie. The most successful people are often those who overcame adversity in spite of people telling them they couldn't do it. Yep, it's so unfortunate that Reddit is just filled with these neckbeards and incels. There's a lot of places when they talk about gender and women's problems, the neckbeards and the incels just seem to creep out of the woodworks and just start spewing their bullcrap all over Reddit. Anyway, we're gonna conclude things with a neckbeard story. This story is titled, I dated a neckbeard for 5 years. Oh lord. I do apologize for my grammar, it's not always the best. Sorry for the length, this is 5 years rushed into one story. There are many more things he has done that now looking back on them are super awkward and neckbeard. Characters, myself, Mina, socially awkward, rather naive at the time of the relationship, and trying to blossom into a better person. Al, furry, neckbeard, MLP lover, the ex, To be honest, he wasn't a neckbeard at first, but turned out to one after a year or two. This takes place in a magical time of 2010 to 2015, a magical time of just graduating high school and jumping into college. I first met my ex on DeviantArt, an art website known for all those weird kinks. I was an OC artist drawing demons, monsters, and some cute fairies because screw you. It was what I was into at the time. I'm a small town girl just trying to express myself through art and looking for validation online. I was a loser at school, the weird girl who liked science and reading over talking to my peers, all 30 of them, and I'll admit at the time I was no prize, socially awkward, scared of everyone, and pretty much mute. One day after posting some dragon art, he contacted me, Al. He was, so I thought, a nice guy and loved my art. He would tell me often how much he loved my art, how I am so talented, and wow, you must be such a pretty girl with such talented hands, and so on and on and on. To my small, immature, attention-lacking brain, this was amazing. Someone like any art, and a guy, squeal amazing. We talked for a few months and we decided to be online boyfriend and girlfriend. It was nice, and the puppy dog stage had such brig, all cute for the first few months. Pet names, annoying cringy kissy faces, voice calls over Skype and such. Never webcams though, I couldn't afford one. We are the same age, just a month apart. How awesome was that? I didn't know what a neckbeard or a nice guy was back then. It wasn't a talked about or open thing. Thought he was like me, a weird kid who liked animals and made furry art. Not my thing, and would never be, but to each their own. We talked a lot. Side note, but also important note, I had rather strict parents, so I kept all this a secret. To be honest, they still have no clue. I don't really feel bad about this because my parents always wanted to be in my life and I wanted just someone on my own. My own private world and thoughts they couldn't control. My secret life was all my own, which means all our and X and me fights, his dirty words that made me feel gross, an almost naughty picture to him and him commenting on my fat rolls, I kept that to myself. I lied about the tears, the words. I kept their voice chat time to when my parents were out of the house on the weekends. Well, 2 years of this and I was about to graduate high school and looking into college. No, he said that was stupid. Women don't need an education. I'll just be his housewife and have kids. I thought he was joking and I found my college and got in. I told him, and he stopped talking to me for a full summer until it was time to move into my dorm. When he finally messaged me, he had demands. I had a laptop now with a webcam, we can chat often. I was his, so no guy friends. Any chick friends I made, he needed to see a picture of them, and I complied for a few months. His words of no one will ever love you, don't bother with him or her, they'll lie to you, I'm all you have, still ring in my ear to this day. The college I went to branched me out of my small town ways. I met more people than I ever had seen before. I talked to people of all walks of life, hung out with nice people. I started to forget about the boyfriend here and there, forgetting his demands and just having fun in his new life. He didn't like that. He attacked me all over media he could, calling me a cheater. How dare I have a picture on Facebook with another guy? How dare I join this or that group? My parents, bless their hearts, never really noticed, or if they did, they never mentioned it. I was fast to block him on Facebook and he stopped bothering me there and kept to Skype. We broke up my second year in college for a month until he messaged me about how lonely he was and how he was just jealous because everyone went off to college and he was stuck at home. He had just spent a lot of money on a fursuit and he couldn't afford to get a place out of his parents' house. He threw college would be too hard and he'll figure something out for us. This was the rise of MLP and he launched himself to it. Gushing about this pony or that, saying I should act more like her and her. I never got into the show, sorry that I don't know the names, and he became his life. He would link inappropriate art of ponies, commission money on some, and buy an MLP fursuit. Amen. This was around the time I started to, well, hate him, dislike what he was doing, and cringe at his poor choice of money management. His was also at the time I got into anime and Warhammer 40k. I like this brutal stuff. I love tabletop RPGs, video games, give it to me and I'll play it. Screw me up, I love them both, but oh no, how can you like that garbage? It's so violent. Those men are wearing dog fur. Space wolves, there are no wolves on Fenris. More and more of belittling what I like and pushing what he liked. Furries, MLP, wholesome lolly stuff. He preferred softer, calmer things. Wholesome things that a real woman should like. This went on for a few months. I kept telling myself I would break up with him tomorrow or the next day and so on. Then the day came where he went to some furry con. I chickened out more and more about breaking up with him, and when he went on his trip I was thinking of new ways to stop dragging this on and letting him win. The best message ever came the second night in. He messaged me in the middle of it crying about how he cheated on me with another fursuiter. He wanted to do the right thing and tell me so I wouldn't think less of him. Mother ducker, this was it. I broke up with him, listed the reasons why. Manipulative, verbally abusive, disgusting, and disrespectful in some colorful language and blocked him from everything. It might not have been the most graceful of breakups or the most rewarding, but it was what I needed to get the courage to break it up. I had been trying for a while now before this. Each time I chickened out, and if he never would have told me, I might have chickened out. 5 years of my life, 5 years, I just felt like I had to stay because no one else would ever want me. I was being groomed and ordered and pushed to be what he wanted. The more I rebelled, the worse it got. It hurts to think about. It hurts to look back and see how stupid I was for even allowing myself to be tricked. But I was young, stupid, believed him, and now I have trouble trusting a healthy relationship. Now I'm not a man-hater. All of my closest and best friends are guys, and I adore them so much. They have helped me to grow and get over this track in my life. I wish this man nothing but the worst, and I have no clue what he is doing now. I remade all my accounts so he can never find me. I still hide the scar from my family. This isn't just neckbeardy, this is straight up abusive. He was specifically looking for a girl who would be naive enough to fall for him and his manipulative tricks, and unfortunately he found one. And unfortunately this poor woman still has to live with this, even if the relationship is long over. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you to our patrons. If you want to join, it's in the link below, and thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like. If you have something interesting to say, don't forget to comment. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe and hit the little notification bell. See you guys next time.